This build was a breeze, according to Chris, and he put this together for his cattle, and this is a windbreak / sunshade that he put together, as we can see here. Looks like the cattle are enjoying it. I don't think they're going to move anywhere when this thing is put up. Well, that's really cool, and like I said, he said this was a breeze. I don't think he meant to make that joke. I hope he did, because it's a really good one, and I really appreciate that. But essentially, this frame is pretty simple to put together, and just a great idea. Even if you're not making it for your cattle, you can still put this together and make an adjustable sunshade, or kind of utilize some of these techniques for whatever it is that you are making. But essentially, what he's done here is he's created this wooden base, and it looks like just with some 2x4s, I think, stacked on one another, and then he just created the base using that method, and then he's using EMT conduit and maker pipe fittings for this framework. And if you don't know what those are, you can get EMT conduit off the shelf at places like Lowe's, Home Depot, different hardware and home improvement stores. You'll find it in the electrical aisle. It's usually about $10 or $11 for a 10-foot stick. And then he's connecting the framework together with maker pipe fittings, which are connectors that we manufacture in South Carolina, and we ship those to people all over the country to build their projects like this. And there's more information I'll link in the description if you're new to the material and want to learn all about it. But this framework is pretty awesome and pretty simple overall. You know, once you have that wooden framework, I see some handles on there, so you can move this around easy. Which is cool. And basically, he's got the maker pipe adjustable angle flange here bolted to the piece of wood, and then he's got a piece of conduit that is terminating inside of that connector, and that is going up here all the way to this vertical piece of conduit. And then that vertical piece of conduit is running from here all the way down to another flange. This one is not made to be adjustable. It's rigid and just makes a 90-degree angle with the piece of conduit. It's 90 degrees to the surface that it's attached to. This other one allows you to adjust the angle, or you can leave it loose and make a hinge if you want, which is pretty awesome. But both flanges there that he's utilizing, and this goes up, and he's using the adjustable 180-degree connector. I don't know exactly why he's using that one here. He could use the adjustable angle hinge and basically just, you know, close off, terminate inside the connector there, and then grab on to this vertical piece of conduit, and then, you know, secure that there and kind of create that angled piece that he was after. But we can see here, if I erase a little bit, we can see the other half of the adjustable 180. He's not really using the connector. There's no there's no in clamp on that side that allows him to have another angled piece. So I don't know if maybe he switches the side that the brace is on, potentially. Maybe that's why. Or I think he might even just be using this as kind of a stop for the angled piece, and he might just have a hook or something there that allows him to secure this in place whenever this is kind of folded down. Not entirely sure. I'm sure he has a reason, but you could just use adjustable angle hinge if you're recreating this technique and want to. And speaking of which, that's exactly what connector that we'll see up here. This vertical piece of conduit is going up and terminating, and the way that he used this is really smart because it allows him to hinge this rectangular frame that he's got for the sunshade. So just very similar to the adjustable angle flange is the adjustable angle hinge. It essentially has these two pieces here. The bottom half is the in clamp, and then this top half is the puzzle piece clamp that we call. And if you leave that loose, you can hinge that. So you can imagine here that right now he's got it folded this way, but because that's loose and he wants to hinge it, he can rotate it all the way to the other side, and this would allow you to pretty much stop at any point and then kind of create that angled shade, and you can angle it and adjust it however you want. So that's really smart. And essentially it's just that same technique as we see here on the other side. And then he's just holding, and those two kind of arms on each side are holding on this main rectangular frame that he put together, and that's what's pulling the sunshade tight, as we can see there. And it looks like he's just using off-the-shelf electrical 90-degree elbows to create this square or this rectangle here. And we can see there's 4 of those, and just creating a really simple square or rectangle, and that's what's pulling the sunshade tight. And if we zoom in close, we can see that he's using Old Faithful, the zip ties, to secure the sunshade and pull it tight there, just using the grommets that are built into the material. So really awesome, nice and simple project, and just a really great technique. Or just different techniques in here are all great just for different things, even if you're not making a windbreak or a sunshade, and you probably aren't. You might be, which is cool, but we haven't really seen too many of these. I think this is the first one, which is awesome, but there's still some great techniques in here that we can utilize for whatever it is that we're making. So really cool, Chris. Thanks so much for sharing this. Absolutely love seeing it, as always. Thanks, everybody, for posting your builds, and if you want to see this specific one, I'll link it down below, and if you like this video, consider leaving a like and subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.